With a Starbucks on seemingly every street corner, McDonald's rebrand of many locations to McCafe, and Dunkin' Donuts as an integral part of many morning commutes, it's hard to believe that anyone drinks more coffee than Americans. Yet on a per capita coffee consumption basis, the USA is a medium-sized beverage in a sea of extra-large coffee-drinking nations. While coffee drinking originated in Yemen in the 15th century, and a Parisian cafe or an Italian espresso bar is often the first thought when pondering coffee and its drinkers' home, none of these nations make the top 10 in terms of how much coffee is consumed per capita. So how do the countries of the world stack up when it comes to coffee consumption? In this video, we're going to take a look at the top 10 coffee-consuming countries in the world. And wait till you see all of them that we're going to be showing in this video. Something that you would never even have thought of, so make sure you watch till the end. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel Trip Xtreme for more awesome top 10s. And make sure to hit the notification bell so that you know when we publish a new video. Let's cut to the chase. Number 10. Canada. 14.33 pounds per capita. Canada stands out as the only non-European country to make the list of the world's top 10 coffee consumers. From east to west, Canadians love their coffee. Although popular chains are common across the country, every city in Canada is often home to a number of independent shops as well. The drink is so popular in this country of 37 million, but the Coffee Association of Canada calls it the most commonly consumed beverage among adults in the country. Despite the prevalence of coffee shops in Canada, many Canadians prefer to drink their coffee at home. Cold weather and long winters have been stated as a popular pull factor, drawing residents into the allure of the hot brown beverage. At number 9, Luxembourg. 14.33 pounds per capita. Luxembourg may be a small country, but its love for coffee is big. This low Western European country drinks around 14.33 pounds per capita per year on average. In the capital of Luxembourg City, coffee shops abound, serving both pure filtered drip coffee as well as artisan drinks. Some of the espresso drinks unique to Luxembourg include a latte russe, or Russian milk, which is essentially a latte or a café gourmand, a type of espresso drink originating in France that is intended to be served with a dessert. In at number 8, Belgium. 15 pounds per capita. When you think of Belgium, visions of waffles and beer may dance in your head, but Belgium has a long history of pairing their national obsession with chocolate with their coffee. As a former colonial power in Africa, Belgium was able to feed its demand for coffee by growing the plant in the Congo and Rwanda. Today, with coffee shops in every town, it's easy to grab a quick cup to accompany the world-famous waffles that are the nation's answer to a donut. Up next, it's number 7, Switzerland. 17.42 pounds per capita. Like many countries making this list, coffee is a social activity in Switzerland. Espresso-based drinks are particularly popular in this Central European country, including the Café Crema, a type of espresso drink similar to an Americano that is said to have originated in Switzerland near the Italian border. Unlike many of its Scandinavian counterparts, filter coffee is less popular amongst the Swiss. For the average Swiss who drinks an average 3 cups a day, coffee can be an expensive pastime, as a cup of coffee in a cafe can be as high as $4.64. In at number 6, Sweden. 18 pounds per capita. In Sweden, there is a concept known as fika, which means to have coffee. With this concept, the pairing of cookies or pastries is implied. A variety of situations can qualify as a fika, whether it be a break during the working day or a social gathering. The one important common denominator is that there is coffee involved. Many Swedes take their coffee very seriously, to the point where it is not only a beverage in the country, but a way of life. Although coffee can certainly be enjoyed in the comfort of one's home, alone, coffee is for the most part a social interaction. In major cities like the capital of Stockholm, coffee shops, chains and independent locations alike can be found in abundance. And next, number 5. Netherlands. 18.52 pounds per capita. In 1616, the Dutch were the first Europeans to obtain live coffee trees brought back from Mocha, Yemen, by Peter van der Broeke. The beans from these coffee bushes were then used to begin Dutch coffee cultivation, with the colonies of Java and Suriname eventually becoming significant suppliers of coffee to Europe. Nowadays, coffee houses in Amsterdam are well known for serving coffee alongside another specialty item, marijuana. But don't let that cloud your vision. And coffee culture is still strong and rich in the Netherlands. On average, the Dutch drink 2.4 cups per day. Coffee is served in the home for koffietjid, coffee time, usually with cookies and cakes. Interestingly, the coffee culture is somewhat split between the north and south and along religious lines. The north was traditionally populated with Protestants who prefer to serve coffee with only one cookie, seen as a gesture of modesty. In the south, usually inhabited by Roman Catholics, koffietjid typically includes vlaai, a sizable sweet pie. Next up, at number 4, Denmark, £19.18 per capita. If the Nordic nations are the kings of coffee, this nation is appropriately the Danish prince of the hot brown drink. Residents of the kingdom sip about 1.46 cups of coffee per day. Like other Scandinavians, coffee in Denmark traditionally is served at each meal and becomes the central focus during special occasions, served with cookies, cakes, and small sandwiches. Danes rank slightly better on another statistic, having the 6th most expensive coffee in the world, so each of those coffees cost them a pretty krone. So grab a Danish-made Bodum coffee press and some are aptly named Danishes and dream about spring in Copenhagen. Number 3. Iceland, £19.84 per capita. There is definitely some correlation between cold climates and a cup of coffee. Perhaps it adds a perfect touch of coziness to staying inside on a cold, dark day. Like its other northern European counterparts, the island country of Iceland enjoys its coffee. In the capital city of Reykjavik, you won't find coffee giants like Starbucks or Second Cup. However, there is no shortage of smaller, independent coffee shops scattered across the city, many in close radius to one another. In case there was any question whether or not Iceland takes its coffee drinking seriously, the country hosts competitions which place baristas and roasters against one another in a quest to find the country's highest quality brew. And at number 2, Norway, £21.82 per capita. Like most European countries, coffee in Norway was first made popular among the wealthy in the early 18th century. Even though Norway was a relatively developing country, being ruled by Denmark at the time had its benefits. In this case, lots of cheap Java. Kaffe is typically served black at breakfast and with dessert after dinner. Norwegians also commonly invite people over specifically for coffee, serving with cakes and pastries. 80% of the roughly 5 million people of the nation drink coffee, many at a rate of 4 to 5 a day. If you are ever in rural Norway, don't forget to try karsk, a cocktail made with weekly brewed coffee, sugar, and a hefty helping of moonshine. Don't worry, if it's too strong you can always light it a flame to burn off some of the alcohol. And finally, at number 1, Finland, £26.45 per capita. If you've ever met a Finn, you know that the national average of £26.45 per capita is probably on the low end for the most in Finland. If you were to take children out of the calculation, the national average would rise even higher. Coffee is typically consumed all day, every day, and coffee breaks are required by most workers' unions. Special occasions and post-church luncheons are celebrated with a coffee table, a buffet of cold sandwiches, slices of bread, cookies and cakes, and, of course, endless kahvi. The most popular coffees in Finland are very light roasts, much lighter than anywhere else in the world. The traditional Finnish way of brewing coffee is a variation on Turkish coffee, where water and coffee grounds are brought just barely to a boil repeatedly. Finnish coffee culture may stem from varying influences such as Lutheran work ethic, Swedish rule, and several prohibitions on coffee. But one thing is for sure, coffee isn't going anywhere anytime soon. If you are ever invited to a Finnish home, prepare to be met with hot pots of coffee. Just don't ask for decaf. It's virtually non-existent in this Nordic country. And there you have the top 10 coffee-consuming nations in the world. Did you like what you saw? Let us know in the comments down below. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel Trip Xtreme for more fantastic top 10 lists. See you next time.